Hello, welcome to my video. My name is Ruben Dario with Buitrago Gonzalez, and I'm going to discuss or talk about to share the insights from my pedagogical practice. My work focused on an online learning environment, specifically exploring how content and language integrated learning or CLIL can impact English language development for Spanish L1 learners. The students I work with were primarily Spanish L1 learners navigating the challenges and opportunities of acquiring English in a virtual setting. Most of them were beginners with one intermediate student among the participants. They often relied on accessible tools like mobile phones, Duolingo, and translators for the language practice. My research proposal is titled CLIL, Content and Language Integrated Learning, Applied into Language Teaching in Virtual Learning Environments. The main objective of this research was to analyze the effectiveness of CLIL in enhancing English language acquisition and subject content comprehension among Spanish L1 learners in a virtual learning environment. We also had some specific objectives. First, we aimed to evaluate the impact of CLIL on students' comprehension and use of English and subject content lessons within a virtual learning environment. Second, we wanted to identify the challenges that Spanish L1 learners face when engaging with CLIL-based instruction online. And finally, our third specific objective was to analyze students' perceptions of CLIL in relationship to their motivation and confidence in using English. So, to reiterate, my project was centered around understanding how integrating content and language learning through CLIL could benefit Spanish-speaking students learning English in a virtual classroom setting. We looked at everything from their language comprehension and using specific subject lessons to the challenges they encountered and how CLIL affected their motivation and confidence. It was crucial to understand their experiences, especially since many were at the beginning stages of their English journey and heavily dependent on digital tools readily available to them. This foundational understanding helped guide our exploration into the effectiveness of CLIL in this particular context. Now, to build a strong foundation for my research, I delved into various existing literature on CLIL and its application, particularly in technology-enhanced environments. I found that researchers have employed a variety of methodologies, both quantitative and qualitative, to assess CLIL's impact on language acquisition. One significant area of research examined the effects of CLI approaches, often enhanced by technology, on the English language development of Spanish L1 learners. For instance, a multi-level meta-analysis by Houye 2025 provided a comprehensive understanding of CLI's impact on secondary education by integrating results from several studies. It highlighted how CLIL enhances learning through linguistic and content integration, especially in subjects taught in the target language. This really emphasized the long-term effects of CLIL on fluency, grammar, listening comprehension, and vocabulary. Another important study by Perez Cañado 2017, published by Paradigm Press, synthesized the findings on CLIL in higher education, focusing in language learning and academic content mastery. The literature also extensively covered the integration of technology in CLIL classroom studies by Garcia Esteban Villarreal and Bueno Alaste 2025, explored the use of the web-based applications in higher education, noting that digital tools like collaborative platforms and virtual classrooms enhance engagement and language retention. Telecollaborative tasks where students from different linguistic backgrounds collaborate virtually were also a key area of interest and highlighted by Bueno, Alastu, and Kiblan 2021. And finally, the potential of augmented reality as explored by Balda Medina 2025 showed how AR tools could support vocabulary development and subject comprehension in CLIL. This rich body of research provided a robust framework for understanding the potential of CLIL in digital environments. My research process involved in a combination of qualitative and quantitative approaches, drawing inspiration from the methodologies I just discussed. To gather data, I developed and deployed an online survey. The survey aimed to collect information on students' demographic data, their use of various languages learning tools, and their perceptions of these tools' effectiveness, particularly concerning pronunciation. The survey was linked through a Google form, following for easy access and data collection, and the questions were designed to capture their experiences with mobile apps like Duolingo and Elsa Speak, online video tutorials, voice recognition tools, and even AI chatbots. Chatbots. I was particularly interested in how they perceive the role of interactive games, virtual meetings, and even podcasts in their English language development. In terms of activities designed with the students in class, while the document didn't document specify the activities that I did, I certainly informed my students to pay attention closely to all the activities that I developed in class. For example, participating in class, pronunciation words with me, or even role plays that were incorporated to boost engagement and confidence. We also learned that mobile phones weren't the most accessible tools, so activities were planned with that in mind, identifying that AI chatbots and podcasts were less adapted but had potential. And so this feedback could give the future instructional design to specifically promote and integrate these tools more effectively, highlighting their benefits like this systematic approach, combining survey data with an understanding of preferences and is crucial for informing future pedagogical strategies.